LeBron James, the king, the chosen one of the most famous athletes ever, and being famous for the most ever. From the age of 16, this kid was literally on the cover of Sports Illustrated. LeBron James. And I don't care whether you love him. I don't care whether you hate him. The fact of the matter is the guy has done everything he possibly could to live a good life. And by that meaning, a family that he's raised, that his kids love them. He's been married forever. There's no rumors of cheating or horrible things. He's won championships for his home city. He's taking thousands of kids to college. He's a stand-up dude. Sure, may say things that rubs you from wrong the wrong time. Whatever. Nobody's perfect. And I don't think he's perfect either. And I don't think he thinks that either. But he goes on to a podcast, which is the Kelsey Brothers. If you don't know, I believe it's called New Heights. And it's a great show. I don't listen to it all the time. But LeBron was dying to go on there. He even tweeted about it. And they got him on there. Now, one thing I like about other athletes, talking to other athletes, is there's this sense of like camaraderie, if you will, especially champions like all three of them are. Jason being for Philadelphia Eagles, Travis obviously with the Chiefs, and LeBron with many teams. 3 teams to be exact. I don't know anybody else that's done that other than maybe Robert Ory or Steve Kerr that was just like more of a role player. So the fact is that these guys have a level of talking about things as opposed to a sports fan like me or like a journalist, because they're not going to open up as much. I've watched a lot of LeBron interviews, and I don't think I've ever heard the story before in this detail. This is a really unique as to what was offered to him as a high schooler. And what is being offered now, I could only imagine, because now we live in a world that before you could not talk to a college player in the sense of a brand, no money, no nothing. So if you don't realize that, basically up until about 3 years ago, if you were a college or if you were a company trying to recruit somebody that wasn't in a professional league and they were literally in high school or college, you could not talk to them. It was illegal. A lot of people lost their careers from it. It was bribing. Well, guess what? That shit is out the door now. It's called the NIL, and it's a contract that allows athletes to make money off of what they do, which makes a lot of sense. The fact of the matter is that these athletes are off their backs. These colleges and the NCAA are making a lot of money. So they were able to shift this thanks to Ed O'Bannon and a lot of other people, and now they're making millions. Literally. These college athletes and some high school athletes are making millions. But this, since LeBron is he's in roughly my age. I think he's 40. I'm 44. This was happening way, way, way before any of that. So LeBron is a Nike athlete. Everybody knows that right now, unless you live under a rock. So the fact is, he went in as a high schooler under certain situations. Now, Travis Kelce, and we're going to listen to it here, is going to talk about this a little bit more. So we're just going to watch this segment. Hope you enjoy it.
Penny Hardaway,
Legend,
Ron Artest, Michael Finley, all these guys.
Who guarded you?
Nobody. I was unguardable. Listen, I was 16. I was 16. High school sophomore.
Baby.
There's
was 16 the baby fro?
Yep, that was the baby fro. I was in Chicago at MJ's court. It was called Hoops. There's a clip out right now of actually Meta World Peace talking about that moment as well. Like,
I gotta check it out.
When I finally got out there, I was like, I'm busting ass, man. I was nervous. I was nervous as hell, being out there with MJ and the rest of those guys. But
Are you kidding me?
I was like, I'm about to go crazy, and I did, man.
That's awesome, man.
I did.
That's awesome,
man. I wish I was in that gym that day. That's crazy stuff, man. Well, you see all these shoes behind me, man. You already know I'm a sneakerhead.
Oh, I know.
I've collected them over the years, man. Was it always Nike? You used to wear the T-Max at St. Vincent St. Mary. I think I seen you wear the old Iversons. Was it always Nike?
Trav, no, it was not. It was not always Nike. It was Nike when I was a young kid, when I was a young lad. Obviously, I've been in love with Michael Jordan my whole life. So,
come on now.
I saw him, Penny Hardaway, Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson. I watched all these.
Guys, if you don't know this, like Nike at that era, I mean, with the people he's naming, the Ken Griffey Juniors of the world, this was prime Nike, Bo Jackson. And so LeBron is a high schooler. He's watching all this going on, and here comes the biggest names in the world calling you. the biggest, the Nikes, the Adidas, the Reeboks. I know Reebok's kind of like right now, but Reebok was right there with Nike for a long time. And so here is LeBron James. Picture yourself in high school, and you're getting these calls. Listen.
It's unbelievable sports figure. So as a kid growing up, it was Nike. Once I got into the AAU program, started playing basketball, Adidas took us over, you know, and it became Adidas. It was Adidas like from 7th, 8th grade to pretty much my junior, senior year. They sponsored us every year. We played in all the Adidas tournaments, big time tournament in Vegas and all over the United States of America. So it was Adidas. And then my senior year, the process began. The recruitments, the Nikes came in, the Adidas was still there, Reebok came in, and one. You know, all these companies came in.
Man, for those who don't know, and one was the dopest shoe, and man, it is so crazy to hear these names. A great documentary, the And One Era. It's on Netflix, and you can see how huge that clothing brand was. It rivaled Nike. They were trying to figure it out. Mismanagement, unfortunately, led to that demise. That is awful, but he makes it look good. If I wore that, people would make it think that I was a creep. What are we talking about here? All right.
I took on 3 pitches. I did an Adidas pitch, I did a Reebok pitch, I did a Nike pitch. The best pitch that I got where I thought I was going to end up was actually Reebok at one point.
Reebok.
I went to their meeting. And I sat down across from their CEO and the guys that was running basketball. At the time, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Reebok had the NFL as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what it was when I first got into the league.
Yeah, they had the NFL as well. So they knew my love. They knew my love.
Okay, just so you guys know right now, Reebok, you can buy at Walmart. They're done. They are a brand that is gone. Walmart has purchased a bunch of brands, if you don't know, like Justice and all these like Polo, these random brands. Like, what the hell are they doing at Walmart? Well, during COVID and all, when they all started dying, it was really smart. They bought up all these brands so that they would have them in their stores exclusively. And they're like, oh, I can get this Reebok shirt. Well, imagine if LeBron, like I said, we know he went with Nike. So imagine if he would have gone with Reebok. How different his, yeah, I know, Julie. It is crazy. You're about to hear what he was offered. It's insane. And Barbara, it is good to see you in here, sweetheart. You know, get caught up. Take a hit of that bong. We're talking LeBron here. Let's keep it moving.
For football as well. So they had all the NFL jerseys, all the Pro Bowl looking jerseys that was going to be the next year. And nice. I'm sitting across from the table. I'm a senior in high school. I'm going back to class the next day. They flew me in. I'm going back to St. Vincent St. Mary the next day, my senior year. And the guy slides over a check to me at the end of the table. It's me and my mom and Maverick Carter at the end of the table. And he says, if you don't go talk to any other companies, this is yours. And I look at it. $10 million fucking dollars.
Oh,
10 million.
Just right there as an 18-year-old, I was still stealing change out of my dad's fucking piggy bank to go get some candy and shit.
I was a high school senior, man. They gave me a check for $10 million.
$10 million. What would you do right now? I want to know. Leave a comment. You're the best star in the world. They offer you $10 million. You're living in public housing. You're living with a single mom. You got nothing. Do you take it, or do you have the wherewithal and understanding to not take it? I want to know. I'm going to use that part. It's crazy. You give me $10K right now to sign exclusively with the DTF shoe brand? Done. Deal. Can it make me jump higher, Dunk? I think it can.
If I promise not to go see anybody else, I told them I need a break. They stepped out. I need to fucking
I can't believe that. Right.
I sat there.
It is so smart, guys. So smart. When you are offered something of where you have to make a decision, and I know Asher would buy Magic tickets for everybody. And I know Amanda, with that money, she would consider hiring people. Even with that money, she's like, I'm considering it. Take your time. Sleep on it. Give it some time. Don't immediately react. Very rarely those immediate reactions really, really work out that well. E-Fresh, thank you for being honest, though. And being like, I would have taken it because it's fucking $10 million. You don't accept Magic tickets from people who don't. Airbender in the house. Airbender in the house. That is the dude. Airbender and Asher, you two need to connect right now. You two are best friends, okay? Airbender and Asher are best friends. Time out before we find the result of this. Airbender, I love you, buddy. Simon, everybody say hello to Simon. This is the biggest Magic fan I know. What you say? Podcast would have signed for $10. Airbender, I met Airbender many moons ago. Simon, what's up, brother? Airbender is one of the coolest dudes. He's my guy. We've been friends for a long time. I met him because he was trying to go to college. He's got a little issue. It ain't up here because the dude is funny as hell and smart as a whip and runs like 16 different social media sites and goes to every single Magic game. But he had an issue because he had a little physical disability that didn't allow him to get to his college. I said, that's messed up. Hate that shit. So the good people came together. I did a little fundraiser. You still got that ride? If you sold it, I want my cut. I'm kidding. But we've been friends ever since. And this is a match. You guys are brothers. I'm telling you, meet up at the next game. Love you, bro. Love that bro right there. He's so cool. Okay, you guys know each other. I like that. I like that. Let's get back to the story. Yes, Simon, declining that check was absolutely, well, did he decline it? Ooh, we don't know. We don't know. Let's see. We don't know if he did.
Time out.
My mom looked at it, and me and my mom were living in an apartment and, Section 8 housing in Akron. I'm going back. I don't have shit, whatever. And my mom looked at me. She said, son, trust your gut. If they're offering you this, then who knows what the other companies may offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah, Ma.
She's composed.
Yeah, she's super composed. She's like, we ain't got shit already. So it's not like, it changes our life at this moment. Yes, maybe in the future, but I want you to trust your gut and do what you think is right.
That's awesome advice, man.
So they came back in. Boop. I said, thank you. I will definitely like to continue our conversation, but I would be remiss if I did not take those other pitches from the other companies. I may have cried on the way home because I had to leave that
You're questioning. Man, I hope I just made the right decision.
I was like, I could have bought the building that me and my mom was living in with that goddamn money.
What? Easily. You already know.
I got a similar, my rookie year, or my rookie.
It's so funny. Jason tells some story that is not remotely the same. It's pretty funny. Simon, I hope you guys link up. You know what, DTF? When my son becomes LeBron James too, I'm also going to give him good advice. Thank God for good advice from moms. I'll tell you right now, my mom would have said, take it right now, drop out of school, go directly into the Reebok factory. She would not have given me this. Love you, Mom. God rest your soul. But she would have said, honey, no, she would have signed. There would have been no hesitation. My mom would have been smoking in the Reebok office and probably signed it just with the pop of her cigarette ash. It was quite a frame. He looks very handsome and a very, like, Viking, right? Exactly. Yeah. Like, you can't blame him, right? It's not like, I think what a sound mind. I think that says a lot about LeBron's sensibility too, right? That he had the ability to, well, how he is with his life, how he's lived his life. He kind of goes into detail on this. It's really interesting. He goes into detail on how he's kind of lived this perfect life. Not a perfect human being, but like within under the circumstances, he's done quite well, personally and professionally, obviously. But look at that one. DTF, look at that one. So you can do this one, son. My dad, probably would have gone, sí, no, pues, no, tómalo,